What's up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to talk to you about technology. And as a real estate professional, real estate agent, team leader, brokerage owner, how to go out there and utilize and leverage technology inside your real estate business. Look, technology can be one of these extremely overwhelming things. If we're not careful, we can become this very complex thing. So today we're going to break this down, how to use technology in your business, how to simplify this. So then that way, by the end of this podcast here, you'll have a great idea, again, of how to go out there and implement technology in your business, how to identify which technologies to choose to utilize to operate your business, and hopefully remove that overwhelm and that complication out of it. At the end of the day, there's only two main ways to utilize and leverage technology in your business. But again, with all these different platforms, there's so many platforms that exist, so many that are being created on a daily basis, that are being released to us, that are being pitched to us. Again, it can become this very overwhelming, complicated process if we are not careful with it. All right, so before we jump into that, make sure if you guys haven't already to go visit and check out gsdmode.com. It's the main website here for this podcast. A lot of different free resources there on that site for you guys. So we've got free disc reports. So for you, or if you're, recruiting agents or hiring staff and so forth, there's free disc tests on there that you can have access to. Of course, I got my free ebook on there, which are 41 different top tips that I recommend, that I've utilized to grow one of the top teams in the United States. I've also got my free online training taking place right now. That is 6 steps to 3x or more your business in the next 12 months, regardless of the real estate market. So whether you're experiencing boom, bust, or anything in between, how to go out there and continue to grow, scale, regardless of the marketplace. Right now, we are seeing a ton of shifts, a ton of changes in the real estate market. So this is a free 3-hour in-depth online training on exactly what to do. And again, simplifying this process of how to go out there and continue to scale regardless of the marketplace. So that's on there. And then also for those of you that have interest in my personal coaching program, hiring me as your real estate coach and your mentor, there's information on my coaching program on there. And also you can book a 100% zero pressure strategy call to learn more about the coaching program. We can talk about your business, different obstacles that you're facing. And that's 100% zero pressure strategy call. So there's no pressure. You're not going to be pushed to be forced to, sign up my program, none of that crap. And that's with me personally. So you get to have an opportunity to talk to me personally on those calls. All right. So that's at gsdmode.com. All right, let's jump on in. So again, we're here to talk about technology and how to go out there and leverage technology to go out there and grow and expand our business. At the highest level, and I'm just going to be repetitive here, but at the highest level, technology is used for just what I said, to run and grow our business. So this is where I said, let's just break this down, reverse engineer this, and just simplify this. And then we'll get into 2 different ways to go out there and use technology inside your business. So this is just kind of some mental framework here, and then we'll get into some actual tactics on how to go out there and do this. So again, technology is used to go out there and run, so your day-to-day operations in your real estate business, so for running your business, and then on a secondary component to go out there and grow your business. So for most of you, that's going to mean your lead generation strategies, right? So talking about gaining new business, growth of your business, so whether that be going out there and getting more buyers, more sellers, recruiting agents, and so forth, right? We've got the growth of the business, AKA lead generation, and then we've got your business operations, right? Okay, let's break these down. Well, we're going to first start with technology for business growth. And look, you guys, I find that this is highly important because look, there's like I said earlier, there's a bazillion different platforms out there. Let's just take social media, for example. There's, you got YouTube, you got Facebook, you got TikTok, you got Instagram, you got LinkedIn, you got Twitter, you got, I don't know, there's a bazillion of them, man. It's like every day there's another one launched. Well, how do I know what programs and platforms to jump on, right? So then from there, when it comes to and this really just circles back to understanding lead generation strategy, right? So then I can start to identify which platforms to be on. Because look, you don't need to be on all of them. You can be, but that again, at least for me, that becomes overwhelming. That I don't have a TikTok account. I'm not posting on TikTok. I don't care about TikTok, when it comes to running and operating my real estate business, because that's not where my ideal client is at. Now, if my ideal client pivots and shifts over there, well, then I'll be on there. So, okay, for me, I get to check off that bucket of, okay, I don't need to waste my time going and learning TikTok right now. I've got other platforms that I'll go out there and learn, right? So then this way I can select the platforms, the technologies and the platforms that I'm going to incorporate my business And then I can just omit the ones that I don't need to be focusing on this time. So when it comes to lead generation strategy, right? So this, I'll just break this down real quick at a high level, for you guys, and then we'll, spin this into technology and how this applies to that. All right. So, number one, I'm going to identify who my ideal client is for the given market that we are in. So our ideal clients will shift, they will change, right? So, and this, I know that I'm here to talk about technology. Why are you talking about ideal clients? Because this leads to technology. So I just want to, if you're thinking I'm veering off track here, I'm not. I promise you, it'll circle all back. All right, so I'm looking at my ideal client, okay, who is my ideal client and or ideal clients for this given market that we are in? Because this is going to shift, this is going to pivot. There's no such thing as a good market or a bad market. The market's always good for somebody. And again, things are always shifting, changing, and so forth. So, okay, where's the biggest opportunities at right now in my market? Where's my ideal client at in my market? Or if you're recruiting agents, okay, like where, who are those agents, my ideal client within those agents, right? Like if I'm recruiting agents to my team or my brokerage, I'm not like, oh, I just want everybody. No, I'm going to get very clear on, okay, who is my ideal agent, right? Or my ideal buyer client, my ideal seller client, and so forth. And if you have multiple ideal clients, I want to run this process through them separately. So I'm going to look at my ideal client. Then from there, I'm not going to go too deep into this because I have other videos on this, because I want to circle this back to technology, but overall lead generation strategy, I identify for my ideal client, then I identify the demographics of my ideal client, then I identify the psychographics, which are the pain points, then I identify where they congregate, right? And then the last component is then I look at my strengths, I put those pieces together, that becomes my lead generation strategy. But because today we're talking about technology, we're going to talk about really of where do they congregate? Right. So that's where, okay, where are they spending time? Where are they showing up? Now with technology, most technologies are going to be, now this can also be applied to offline as well, because there's technologies that we can use for offline, methods as well. But it's, okay, where do they congregate? Where are they spending their time? And I'm just going to use this example for social media because it's, something that when I'm having conversations with agents right now, just seems to be a big obstacle for them of knowing what platforms to be on, how to identify the platforms and so forth. Well, this then identifies what platforms they're on or what platforms I'm going to be on, right, is going to be based on what platforms they are on. So I'm looking at where they congregate online and offline. Then when it comes to online, right, wherever they spend most of their time, where their eyeballs, where they're showing up personally, where their eyeballs showing up online and so forth, right? And then boom, from there, that then can help dictate what platforms that I'm going to be on. So I said earlier, hey, I'm not on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account and so forth because my ideal clients are not on TikTok, right? Whether it be ideal clients for my agent recruiting, or my ideal clients for buyers and sellers, they just, and I'm not saying that some of them may not be on TikTok, but the vast majority aren't. So if you look at the average person has 8 different social media platform accounts, but then they primarily have one. Some have 2, but primarily they have 1 up to 2 platforms that kind of dominate most of their energy, most of their space. And that probably holds true for you that are watching this as well. It's like, okay, look at all those different platforms that you have. Well, where are you at? It's like, okay, I've got all these different, for me as a user, right, not as a business owner, but like for me, for entertainment, for, just seeking knowledge, seeking information, whatever going out there. Okay, Twitter is where I go. Like I'm on the, I never log into Instagram other than to post business stuff, to grow my business. I never really, I use Facebook for business as well, but very rarely for personally, right. But as far as, me just as the consumer, I'm spending my time on Twitter. So if I was your ideal client, you would want to target me. Well, okay, you're probably going to want to target me on Twitter. So identifying, okay, where's your ideal client at? So when it comes to social media platform, my ideal clients are going to be on Facebook primarily, Instagram secondarily, and then YouTube, right? So like, okay, those are the 3 platforms. I can then omit and eliminate everything else. Not saying that I may not be on everything else, right? But I don't need to spend the time to go out there and figure those out and create content for those other platforms. And again, I could just omit those, right? So identify where do they congregate. Then from there, that will then identify, okay, what's that primary platform or 2 that you need to be on, to go out there and grow your business. Like a buddy of mine that I was talking to not too long ago, who was raising a bunch of capital for his business. And he's like, okay, the venture capitalists that I'm going after, they're all on LinkedIn. So, okay, that was the platform that he was using to go out there and leverage his business and build his business through, contacting, reaching out to these VCs and prospecting these VCs, through LinkedIn. That was his play. He wasn't he's like, okay, I'm not going on Instagram to seek out these cap raises, right? So identifying, okay, that can help you then identify, what platforms and the technologies, if you will, that you need to go out there and focus on and be on when it comes to your business. We got two different things here. You got entertainment and you got business, right? So you might enjoy, like, dude, I use Twitter for entertainment, right? And I use it for other things too. I mean, I learn on there and there's a lot of good things that, I gain knowledge off of there, but I'm not using it as a platform to grow my real estate business because my ideal clients aren't on there, right? Okay. So that's number one. That is, okay. So that can dictate, okay, well, I'm on Google pay-per-click, or am I doing Google pay-per-click? Am I, do your clients read blogs, right? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on YouTube? How are they gathering their info? And what are those primary one, if not two sources or places that your ideal clients are at? And then boom, you can go out there and then focus that time, energy, and attention onto those, so then from there, it takes a little bit of due diligence, right? It takes a little bit of homework, but within about less than a couple of days, I've never had it where it takes me more than a couple of days to identify and figure that stuff out with just, seeking that intel, and you can do online searches based on the demographics. You can go out there and, you're start calling, your amazing, best, ideal past clients. Like if you could clone those past clients and replicate and duplicate them, and then just ask them, hey, what, just out of curiosity, I'm doing a little bit of research for my real estate business to help grow my business and so forth. What online platforms do you spend most of your time on? Go out, like you got to go out there and get the intel. You got to go out there and get the data, but I can promise you this is that day or two that it takes to go out there, or maybe it takes you a week. Let's just say worst case scenario, it takes you a week. Well, how long is it going to take you to learn every fucking platform that exists out there? A hell of a lot longer than that week. And now you're wasting insane amounts of time because you're showing up and putting energy and effort into things that where you don't need to be. Okay. So that's number one. So again, that's, we're talking growth of your business, leveraging technology. The second element, and I don't want to say more importantly, but equally as importantly, but it could maybe be argued that's more important, is leveraging technology to go out there and grow and or not grow your business, but run your business day to day. So operating your business in the most effective and efficient manner day to day. So this comes down to systems and processes. Right now, technology is going to be the system. Now, a lot of people, like, we hear that word systems, processes, we hear all of this stuff all the time, but I find that most in this industry exhausts insane amount of energy, time, money, on wasted systems and wasted bullshit because they don't know really what a process and a system is. They don't know how to identify these in their business. So let's break this down. And this becomes extremely, extremely important. And again, I'm just going to try to simplify this for you. Okay. So a process, all a process is a step-by-step, the step-by-step actions that you are taking to get whatever the result is that you're after, right? So anything like you got, okay, here's whatever that thing is. Let's just say, okay, I got this listing. I got to go, okay, well, what's step one? Once you get that listing, okay, what's the first thing that you do? What's the second thing that you do? What's the third thing that you do? What's the fourth thing that you do? And so forth, right? So these are just your processes, are just the steps that you are taking all throughout your business. And anything that you do more than once in your business, I highly recommend that you have a documented process for, and then boom, you put that into a system, right? So, okay, those are what processes are, just the steps, right? Those are the action steps. I do this thing, then I do this thing, then I do this thing, then I do this thing. Okay, if I'm creating a Facebook ad, it's like, okay, I got to get the image. I got to get my, website tracking link from my website so I can track that. I got to go out there and, okay, now I've got the copy ready to go. I go into Facebook, I go into ads manager, I click this button, I click lead generation ad, I click this, I click this. Each of those are just the steps, right? So hopefully that all makes sense. Those are just the steps. I do this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, right? So if you have maybe 48 different steps that you map out for your transaction coordination as an example, for like contract to close, okay, well, now you got a 48 step contract to close process, right? And what I recommend for your processes is just go out there, like whiteboard this stuff out, or get out a piece of paper, and just write this stuff out. Here's the first thing that I do. Here's the second thing that I do. Got to get everything out of your head and onto paper, right? So those then become your internal processes for everything that you're doing in your business. Now, systems are just where those processes live to ensure that they don't get missed. right? So they're in to ensure that they don't get missed at the highest level, right? And hopefully they help you to do it in a more effective and efficient way, but then that way you're able to duplicate the same result over and over and over. Things don't get missed. You're able to deliver that same experience, for each client, for each agent, and so forth, right? So systems are just where our processes live, to again ensure that those things aren't missed. Okay, so then from there, how do I then decipher what systems, right? And again, a lot of our systems today, just with the world that we live in, are pieces of technology. Like your CRM is a piece of technology. Okay, my CRM is the most important system inside my business because it's where almost all of my processes live, right? So then, though, the question then comes into, okay, well, what are the best systems out there? Well, the best system is the one that allows you to execute on your processes. So here's where most go wrong: is they have no fucking clue what their processes are. They don't have those mapped out, right? You've got to think of your processes, the instructions that you're feeding the system. The system is only going to be as good as the instructions that you feed it, right? Well, then how do I decipher if this is the right system or the wrong system for me? That system exists only to allow me to execute on my processes. So as an example, okay, my process for a Facebook lead that comes in. Okay, I want to have when I get a Facebook lead that comes into my system, right? Okay, well, here's my processes first, right? So, okay, Facebook, I want that Facebook lead to automatically go into my my CRM. So I want it to be automatically dumped into that CRM, right? Then step number one of my process is instantaneously. Well, I'll even take a step further. Okay, I want it to be tracked. I want it to show that it's a Facebook ad, right? And I want to be able to see exactly which Facebook ad that came from. So like in my Perfect Storm CRM account, I have the first note that's burnt in that CRM contact record is the exact ad that ad or that lead came from. So not only do I know it was a Facebook lead, I also then now know which ads get the best results. So I can look at my cost per acquisition per ad and scale my ads most effectively and so forth, right? Okay, so then from there, I want an autoresponder email and autoresponder text going out instantaneously. I then want, I have a 1,000-day email text protocol that they're going to be set up on. All right, I'm going to put them on daily property alerts, right? And then I have my call tasking plans, which is going to call them day one, then every other day for the first 14 days, then every 21 days for the first year. And that only exists until communication timelines, their goals, timelines, all that's been established, then it adjusts from there. Okay, so when I'm looking at a system, okay, I want a system where those processes can live and I can feed that system those instructions. So if I'm out there demoing CRMs, okay, I need to make sure, okay, does this CRM allow my Facebook leads to be auto imported into my CRM? Does it allow me to then track not just that it's a Facebook ad, but what exact ad that lead came in from, right? Then from there, does it allow me the ability to go out there and have autoresponder emails and texts? Does it then allow me to automatically, so I want a system that does this automatically, allow me to add the 1,000-day email and text drip plan? I want a system that automatically then tasks me for my call follow-ups. So now that system, right? So that when I know my processes, right? Because the system just exists for those processes, AKA those instructions, to live within inside the system. So then that system can help execute on those things, right? It's going to do the things for me. This is where technology comes in great because, with automation, right? So, I look at a lot of systems or technologies as an assistant, right? So a good assistant is going to do the things for me that the assistant can do. So I can delegate those things out. Then the things that the assistant can't do, I want that assistant to remind me so I don't forget to do those, to keep me on track. Okay, well, my CRM is going to do those things for me, through all the, setting up the auto drips, text messages, daily property alerts, all of that stuff. And it's going to automatically task me for when I have to do my calls. So I just show up and it tells me and instructs me, here's the calls that you need to make. Here's why I got to make them, and so forth. So again, when we're looking at, okay, what is the best system or the needed systems inside my business? That is going to be predicated and determined based on what are the instructions, what are your processes, right? This will save you guys. I know that I'm kind of I know that this isn't the sexy, fun stuff to talk about in business. I get that. I understand that, but I promise you guys, like, this is such a massive game changer. And this is probably much more of a hindrance inside your business than you can imagine. You need to have a system-based business, man, and leverage technology that exists out there to go out there and help you with this stuff, right? But for me, okay, I want the least amount of systems, the least amount of technologies that I possibly can have. So then that way I can go out there and learn those, master those, and invest, like just go out there and use the shit out of those. So I always get told that, oh man, because I'm a systems freak, right? From, like friends of mine that are the team leaders or people that know me well, know my business well, always like, man, it's just insane, how dialed in your processes, your systems are. And, it's just a common thing that I'm getting complimented on, if you will, inside this business, but again, it's because I simplify it, man. And I simplify the amount of systems that I use, but I make sure the key there is to know what those processes, AKA what those instructions are that you're feeding those things, so then from there, when it comes to, because we all know, like, you get a bazillion emails a day, everybody's trying to pitch you this next new product, right? So for me, like, I don't get pitch products, right? Like, I go out there and seek the products, like, meaning, okay, at any time that I'm like, okay, for whatever reason, my systems are faulting and allowing me to execute on these instructions in the most effective, efficient model, let me go out there and find a different alternative system, an additional system, and so forth that can allow me to do these in the most effective and efficient rate, so that way I'm not wasting insane amounts of time, going out there and demoing and testing and buying and wasting my time learning all these unnecessary systems. So leveraging technology in that way. But then from there, let's take this another layer deeper, deeply. Then it's like, okay, like, we'll talk about ChatGPT, right? If you haven't seen my video on ChatGPT, I did one not too long ago, pretty amazing AI system, right? Piece of technology that's, coming out, or that's out now. Okay, well, how do I use ChatGPT? Well, I'm going to use it based on what my processes are already internally. I'm using it to improve those, so it's like, okay, like, how I'm not using it to do anything new. I'm using it to enhance what I'm already doing, so, okay, like, hey, here's my current recruiting ads that I'm doing on Indeed. Okay, let me go in there and use ChatGPT to see if they can help me rewrite more effective ads for what I'm already doing, so then it makes it easy when I jump into something like ChatGPT, because I'm just using that AI tool to help enhance what I'm already doing, because I understand and know that technology, is just existing to help me grow my business and then help me run and operate my current business or my operations in a more effective and efficient manner, right? So again, just to recap those two things, technology allows you to grow your business. So thinking about this from a technology standpoint of how can I incorporate technology, to go out there and grow that business. We talked about that with the ideal clients. Where do they congregate? And again, I know I use social media as an example, or online leads, whatever as an example, but then from there, like, this can also be applied to offline. I don't know, maybe you're networking. Okay, well, what's your process when you network? Okay, well, I'm having these conversations. I hand people my cards, whatever. Okay, well, maybe you can get, a digital card that lives on your phone that then you can text them in that conversation. You capture the information. Now they have your text card. They can add you as a contact, and then that way you're more efficient, with that networking that you are doing. With your open houses, okay? Like, is there technology that you can use for your open houses? Like, I went out there and, I've tested the different apps, for like open house sign-in apps. And for me, I found them all to be shit. I get way better results with just old school paper sign-ins, but really, like, even a clipboard on paper and a sign-in, like, this is all technology, a pen, paper, all that's technology too, right? So, so this can be utilized and leveraged for offline and online, but this will, like, when you're getting pitched a piece of technology, just be like, hey, does this, how can that enhance what I'm currently already doing? And if you aren't able to identify that very quickly, right, then like, for me personally, I'm just going to ignore it. Right? Like, okay, hey, is that enhancing what is that solving a problem that I already have? Is that helping me either grow my business based on my ideal clients, or run my operations in a more effective and efficient way? So again, just simplify this stuff, you guys, and understand, like I talked about, processes and systems. That is the true key to this business, is processes and systems, and it really boils down to your systems where those processes live inside there, but systems don't exist without those processes, without those instructions. You got to know those instructions to feed it. That will decipher what those systems are, but systems are really the only way that you can truly scale, the only way that you can, replicate your business, have a predictable business. You got to be able to measure your business through your systems, right? But then from there, as you continue to grow and expand, because you're operating in such an efficient manner, well, eventually you're going to hit a capacity, which means, okay, hey, maybe you're doing 48 deals a year, and you're like, dude, I need some help, man. I want to do 100 deals next year, but I can't keep doing this. Okay, well, then from there, it's like, okay, well, the only way for me to do that is to go out there and delegate certain tasks. Okay, well, when I start hiring people, because I get this call, not most that I coach, but about half the agents that are people that I coach in this industry are team leaders and broker owners, and the common thing I hear from them is, man, I'm just having so much struggle finding good people. What I find once I jump into their business is it's not about the people that they're finding. And some, you got to know how to hire people, and that becomes an important element. But I don't care how good somebody is and how talented they are. If they don't have great systems and processes to plug into, if you don't have great systems for them to plug into, to follow your process, to follow your instructions, doesn't matter how great they are, they're not going to be able to show you their greatness, right? So then it creates a very easy way to plug them in there, for them to execute on those things, to ensure things aren't getting, forgotten, allows you to QC the process, inspect what you expect, and so forth. All right, so anyway, I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any comments, questions, anything, just go ahead and comment below. And again, you guys, make sure to check out gsdmode.com. On there, you got, free disc reports that you can take 100% free. Got my free ebook with 41 top tips on how to grow your business. Each chapter, I jump right into it. There's no fluff. It's just like, boom, here's a script. Here's a strategy. Here's, this, and just 41 top tips that have helped me become one of the top realtors and team leaders on the planet in that ebook. Nothing being sold there either. It's about 100 pages. You'll like it. You'll love it. You got nothing to lose with that. And then check out my online training. And that's really relevant to what we're seeing right now, the transaction volume decline, changing markets, the economy going to absolute shit. I'm not trying to use fear tactics here, but, and that's a big but, I don't think a lot of people are prepared for how ugly this thing could potentially get, right? And I'm speaking to the economy as a whole, and we'll see yet to how that impacts the business, but there's going to be changes, right? So we need to know and understand how to pivot, shift, adapt, based regardless of the marketplace, right? But be, our go out there and grow and scale regardless of the marketplace. That then comes down to our ability to be able to read the given markets, so this online training is all about that. The 6 key steps, throwing 5 fingers, 6 fingers, 6 key steps, 6 fundamentals that I've found that have allowed me to go out there and do that. And break it down in a very simplistic way so you can go out there and replicate and continue to grow and scale your business there. And then also, like I said earlier, on gsdmode.com, there, if you go to coaching, you can learn more about my coaching and mentorship program. What I highly recommend there, though, is that you schedule a 100% zero pressure discovery call with me. I can walk you through, we'll walk through your business, what your current obstacles are, where you want your business in 12 months, current biggest obstacles, all of that based on what your market's going on, because it only takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to walk you through and tell you about the coaching program. So most that call, the other 40, 45, 50 minutes of that call is going to be spent about talking about strategy to help you grow your business. So even if you discover that, hey, Josh, your coaching program isn't for me, the call is going to be beneficial for you. I promise you that. All right. So again, gsdmode.com. All right, you guys, truly appreciate you. Keep kicking ass, and I'll see you next time. Peace.